All right, we're going to jump into a ranked M20 draft here this time zone, and I want to thank my sponsor, Card Kingdom, before we do. Oh, Mama missed the vote. I hope you were going to vote M20, Mama, because that's where we are. And if you want to be at the best place to get your Magic stuff online, you should be at cardkingdom.com. The best place to get there for me is down at my affiliate link down below. There's a sponsor Card Kingdom link that lets them know you got there from me, and if you purchase from Card Kingdom through that link, they'll even know that you spent because of me, and that makes them very happy, and that will make me very happy. But if you do spend there, you'll be very happy because you're going to get exactly what you want. You're going to pay a good price for it, and you're going to get it really fast. Like, it's just so simple. You go to a lot of other places, and you'll be disappointed in one of those axes, and Card Kingdom crushes them all. So keep them in your rotation. Make sure you're price checking against them, because if you do, you'll certainly be buying from them sometime if you play physical Magic, because they're just going to be the leader in something at some point and something you need. So keep them in mind when you're doing some Magic shopping, and keep my link in mind when you do too. Thanks, Card Kingdom. Ooh, Meteor Golem jumped out at me, but we have a Dread Presence, which is both gems and pretty much a bomb. Also, really nice to note here that we're going to take this first pick. Let me get out of your way to get to draft view. But there's not the only other black card here is Duress, so we can really be in a spot to cut black hard. And while sending signals downstream to the bots isn't hugely important, it is going to be a factor in the next picks coming up if it's possible for us to cut black. So it can be like a tiebreaker, or bring black cards up a little bit of a notch, just to try and be as black heavy as we can given the Dread Presence. Fazdar says, Ryan, I have 4x M20 from drafting and need to backfill my collection so I can play more standard. Is it worth it to try to draft older stuff when I'm behind the curve so bad? Sure. I mean, if you like, that's all I would do with my gold. Like, if I were in your spot and I want to play more standard and I want to get value out of that, I am definitely going to be playing in the like, I'd be playing War of the Spark right now if I were you with my gold, for example. Draft War of the Spark, absolutely. Go back and draft that stuff, and it's a great way to fill out your collection. We could take Corpse Knight, but that puts us on a path that I don't think we need to go down, per se. Although, you know... Oh, no, I thought this did some life gain. It doesn't, because this does some life gain, right? So there could be some life gain synergies, but this actually doesn't gain any life. I think we'll just take the Outrage here, or frankly the gems. I might just take the gems. Take gems. Outrage is good, but I'm taking gems. Gonna be a little gem disciplined here. So I was talking about cutting black, but I don't know if we do that for either of these two cards. They tend to wheel. Leafkin Druid is very strong. We had a good result with green black yesterday, so I think we just take the Druid here, despite what I was saying. I wasn't saying we blindly take all black cards. I was saying we maybe elevate black cards a little bit in our pick order to try and send the right signals, but I don't think we need to take one of these to prevent bots from falling into black, so we're just going to take the best card here. Yeah, we can also just not play the Dread Presence. I would really like to, especially given, again, how we're set up to cut the color. But we're not going to get crazy about it. But when we get things like an Audacious Thief third, we're going to snap that up and really try to move in this direction, because this is the pick anyway. Even if we had taken an unplayable rare for gems, I'd be taking the Thief right now. No black here, which is either good or bad. I mean, no black, there's a sorcerer, but and maybe we take it just because there's nothing great here. We could take Might of the Masses, which is fine. But this could be a place where we take kind of a weak black card over a decent green card just to protect the black. Like, there's nothing great here. Sands would be interesting, yeah. Padre Doom suggests picking up a splash potential, which makes some sense. I think the best card is Might, and it goes along with Leafkin. And I don't think the Sorcerer is quite good enough to worth trying to, you know, cut black for. So we're going to take Might. More black. I'm not really interested in taking. Undead Servant is a pretty controversial card in the set. I think it's hard to make work, but you can. I think the times where I've had success with it, I've had at least 4. I've been self-milling and doing things to get them in the graveyard without casting them and having them die. And I have been go wide, go long, green-black with lots of spiders to not lose to flyers. Like, that's the context in which I've had success with Undead Servant, but I think it gets wrecked by flyers if as just a generic, oh, I'm going to throw a bunch of servants in my black deck, right? Like, that just doesn't quite get there against what a lot of the format is doing. Portal, it's a slow enough format where you can make this work, but I've certainly beat a lot of decks that have a portal on the battlefield that has literally done nothing. Like, it, people seem to be putting it in decks where it just doesn't do enough, and then it's kind of an LOL, spend 3 mana and do nothing, and that's just too scary. Anyway, back to this pick. We could take a Servant, given that we are at least headed towards green-black. But I think the Smuggler is just such a good card, we're going to take it. It's pick 6. Here's a Smuggler. I'm not going to mess around. We're going to take it, and if we, if we end up... We might abandon black, although this Bone Splinters makes me want to take that. But this is really interesting. Like, Embercat is a very good card, and Smuggler, Leafkin, Might, and Embercat is a fine start if we just abandon Presence and Thief. But how do you abandon Presence and Thief when you have something as reasonable as a Bone Splinters? I think we just take Bone Splinters and recognize that red might be open. If we had taken Leyline, I took for gems instead of the Outburst. And if we'd taken the Outburst, I think we'd probably just lean into Embercat here. But let's take Splinters in this spot and see if red continues to just be wide open, we can pivot that direction. Here I like a Backwater for a possible blue splash over an Airstrike, since we're best of 1, and over Epicure, which is not quite good enough. Even though it does somewhat combo with Dread Presence, it's not what we're about. So I'm gonna take the Backwater. And yeah, we may wheel a Skeleton. Let's find out. Here's that Duress. It was the only other black card in our first pick. And I don't think we're ever running a main deck Retributive Wand, and I don't think we are main blue, and we're not splashing either of these. So we'll take a Raptor in case we end up like green-black without the spiders that we want. You can play a Raptor, but boy, 1 toughness creatures are at risk of extinction in this bow-heavy format, right? Speaking of, this is part of why it's bow heavy. You can get them pretty late. I don't know if we want to bother with where we're headed right now, and we can pick up a second Smuggler and maybe abandon the green, and we can end up being black-red if that's what's open here. So when I see a Smuggler 10th, I'm paying attention. So, and here's the Skeleton that came back. So we have the Splinter Skeleton combo already. I think we're settling into it. Probably just going to be actually a red-black from here based on what we're picking up. Fire Elemental isn't great, but it's playable. That's not great. Hope not to play that. Reverberations is gems, so we can take gem. We have 4x of it is what I'm saying. Gotta have some decision time here. Unfortunately, the green is the strongest here, but I feel like we've slid a little bit away from that. I'm not really interested in the reef here. We got to let that go. We're not anywhere near the reef, right? It's not all about the reef every time you see it, or you're just losing percentage. I think the question is whether we're green. And if we're not green, I think we are just taking the gems, frankly. Yeah, we do have a backwater. So if we went black-green, we could take Reef and try and cast it off the backwater. And we're not wedded to red either. It's true. This is let's take these away as like not super important cards. This is really what we're looking at. That's why I'm saying we have to figure out if we're green here. And if we are green, we can make an argument for the Reef because we have the backwater. So for black-green, we could splash Reef. It's just that, is it even that good to splash it with? I mean, is Dread Presence an elemental? No, it's a nightmare. You know. Or we just take, if we are black-green, take something as solid like a Brontodon. It doesn't go with what we have right now, but it does play fine on its own. And green just has a lot of generic elementals that show up. Yeah, Brontodon is just fine. How about... I'm going to take a poll on this one. I'm curious where our chat is at. Let's do a quick 15-second. We'll go gems or Bront or Reef. Now, I know this it's kind of unfair to do 3, but I'm curious. We'll take it. I'm just curious where people are at between those 3. They're all good picks, Brent. Unsurprising that chat wants to take gems. All right, let's take... I'll go with chat. That's fine. I'll follow chat down. Here's a seer that would have been nice if we were in Reef territory. Here's a spider I was talking about. Like, if you're black-green, you really want spiders. So we're probably taking a spider. One thing I've been thinking about is how I keep passing Soul Salvage like the bots treat it like they did in Dominaria, which is to say it wheels all the time, but it really doesn't wheel in this format. So if we want a Soul Salvage, we need to pick it up early. But I think we want to be Netcaster. Well, of course, yeah, of course some blue elementals are going to come by, but keep in mind, Man Leggings, we saw no blue in the first pack, right? There was no blue that tempted us at any given point, so it's understandable that we may see some blue coming this direction in pack 2. If we were to take it, we would have to do so knowing that we're very unlikely to get blue on the way back in pack 3. And maybe that can be worth it. Sometimes you get hooked up enough in the second pack on the cut color from the right that you can get a deck's worth of a color in the second pack alone. But I think we just go with Spider. Yes, and I really want a Soul Salvage, but I really want spiders. I think getting your spiders set in green black is more important than getting your Soul Salvage set, even, I think, because these are just so important to surviving against the good Skies decks you see in the format. So let's go there. Another Brontodon, another blue elemental. We're just going to go with another Brontodon. Sorry. The blue elemental deck is now laughing at our face, but we didn't make inappropriate choices, and I'm digging the Thief here over the Crasher. I want 2 or 3. I think I want depends on how good my other removal is. Marsh, but assuming we got a Bone Splinters or whatever, and maybe a Murder or something else. Then, but I think we want. I would want 1 small spider, 1 big spider seems pretty perfect, and then I would take a second of either as well. Yeah, 3 spiders total seems maybe perfect. I'm going to take Thief here. Probably want an Evolving Wilds, given that we have double Brontodon that demands a lot of green, but we have this Dread Presence that wants swamps, so we can We can pick up an Evolving Wilds. It only costs us a Vorst Claw, Blood Burglar, or really Blood Burglar. We're not going to take Vamp over Blood Burglar. But what's our 2s like? Maybe we do just take the Blood Burglar here. I want that Evolving Wilds, but yeah, Phenar, you're right. We are pretty low on 2s. So let's be disciplined and be a little bit risky with our mana to shore up 2s with a decent 2. And we're playing in colors, you know, with some combat tricks and other things that make attacking with a Blood Burglar, you know, Blade Brand, attacking with your Lifelinker into death can be okay with green-black tools, like Might of the Masses or Blade Brand. Another Outrage, a half on-color land for potential splashes. Pup isn't doing much yet. I think we're on Blade Brand or Might here. Pup does help with the Might we have and would help with future Mights. I think... Whoa, excuse me. I just kind of slipped on my desk a little. We could take Blade Brand for sure, and what that does is helps things trade. But what I like actually with 2 Audacious Thief is actually taking the Might, because Might helps Thief actually survive the combat. Blade Brand draws the card and lets it trade, but I like actually giving the Thief a chance to survive. And we have 2 of them, and we might draw more. We're only in pack 2, and this is a really tight spell at 1 mana. Sometimes it's not even as good as a Giant Growth, I recognize that, but often even a +1/+1 can be enough to win combat, especially if you're attacking on turn 4 with your turn 3 Audacious Thief. Heimer, it's not really... They are high risk. They're high risk. And I'm sure we'll find spots in our games if we play 2 Might of the Masses where we are playing some risky Might of the Masses into open mana and cards. But I think it combos well enough with Thief to go for it here. I don't know if we're looking for pups, but we'll take pups if they come around. We'll take this Undead Servant in the case that we pick up a bunch from here, but I don't think this is what we're doing. I don't want that Vampire either, though. Healer is almost never gonna... We're never playing Healer, and this is not best of 3, so I also think at this point we're never really playing the Bow. But if we did randomly pick up a bunch of Cutthroats, then we might play a single Bow, and I really don't know if we're ever playing this Epicure. So I think I will take the Bow. There could be worse things to have to stick into this deck. I don't think we're playing Smugglers, although if we get the Splash, if we get something to the land, we passed one already for something better, but if we get like a green-red or black-red dual land, we can consider running these. Yeah, but Epicure is just right. It's like if you're spending 5 mana in green-black, you want something like a Gorilla, right? So we'll take Bow here and maybe play it, maybe not. That's true. So yeah, so we can take Thornwood Falls, though, and it sets up 2 on-color for the blue splash, but also there's a Blade Brand for us to take. Or a Feral Invocation also does nice things for the Thief surviving. Kind of tempted by this Falls, given the backwater, but also Fiddles makes a great point about not wanting to splash with Dread Presence unless we really need to. Still, if it's basically free... yeah, I know we don't yet, but it allows us to take any splashable blue card in the 3rd pack. That's pretty powerful. Suggestion for another 2-drop. I'm going to say no on this 2-drop. We'll take a Blade Brand, though. I'll bid a tearful farewell to the Falls on the notion that we're really trying to build around Dread Presence, and we're already pressuring that with our double Brontodon. I don't think we're ever playing this main deck in best of 1, so I'm going to take Vault Progress. And same here. Nothing playable there, so we'll take Vault Progress. I don't think we're ever, yeah. Yeah, Drade, that's a good point. Double Ds. Combo-rific possibilities. Second Servant, so it's possible something like this comes together in pack 3. Quite a pack. Moldavine Reclamation was the first card that caught my eye, but then Murder caught my eye. Emmer Smash gave me a 8 months resub, but has a new job and new hours and can't be around for the live shows as much, but I really appreciate it when you can show up at Emmer Smash. And I do want to explore some Saturday evening streaming of non-Magic games, potentially with my kids. Like, I think that trying to figure out how to get into non-Magic streaming a bit, and I think a good way to do that might be to dedicate some time on the weekend evenings for some gaming with my children on stream. That would be fun. I think we have to take Murder, but I do want the Wreck. We gotta take Murder. We can't pass Murder here. Now, Loaming Shaman is interesting. Rugged Highlands helps if we want to try and do the smuggler tricks, smuggler thief tricks. I might surprise you. I was a mean GoldenEye player, let me tell you. But I do think GoldenEye was the last shooter at which I was the best player in the room at. Oh, bring it, Mama. You have no idea. I didn't need to cheat. I crushed the room every time. All right, anyway, let's get back to this draft. What are we doing here? We got to stay on target, I think, and just pick up the spider. Might wheel some of this other stuff, but Spidey, get in our deck. Shore up the air, please. We could take gems here. You take Blood-Soaked Altar. We have one Skelly and are likely to wheel the other. This is kind of the deck for it, especially if, you know, this could make an Undead Servant deck work. Yeah, we can take Altar here. We're going to wheel one of these. This wouldn't be bad either, but again, we're going to try to play towards our presence. But yeah, let's take Altar. Mono black? I don't know about mono black. I don't think we want to give up the power of the green that we've acquired here, but we'll see. This is a snap Blood for Bones. Maybe. I mean, if we just get hooked up with the black from here, then sure. Great. Here's a soul salvage that I was hoping to find a spot to take. Here's another Skelly, but we could take Saddle or Tracker, but we're going to wheel this other skeleton. So I really believe we're going to wheel that other skeleton. We can pass this for a Tracker or Saddle on the strength of probably wheeling the other one. Are we going to play 3 skeletons? Because I really think we're going to wheel the other one. Wasn't it in our pack 1? Yeah, and mostly I'm right. Sometimes I'm wrong, but mostly I'm right. Yeah, that's true. We do have Altar. Okay, fine. I'll take the skeleton just because we're really kind of leaning into the between Bone Splinters, Blood for Bones, and Altar. We can maybe make it work, but I'm not sure we want 3. But I don't love the Tracker, and I really don't love the Saddle either, frankly, so I'll take the skeleton. And I guess we'll grab this Servant. Maybe we end up doing it. But I think we needed a Servant here. Like, we needed a Servant in this pack to really want to do it. 3 is just not quite there for me. If we wanted to even think about mono, like 28, 27... 26, 25, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. We only have 18 mono black picks, so I don't think we can really get there. Yeah, Epicure just keeps showing up like, hey, dude, there's nothing else. What, are you going to take a Wolfkin Bond? It's like, no, I guess we're not going to take a Wolfkin Bond. Fine, you can get in our pile, but I almost want to take Vault Progress. Still, Vault Progress is not quite enough of a lure for me to want to go there over taking a real pick. We take a pup for our double might, and for going long, and for having sack outlets for altar and other stuff. Tracker, though, is nice for going long as well. But this is a pup deck. Yeah, you're right. This is a pretty decent pup deck. But Tracker can make an argument. Tracker's like, hey, you want one of me. I think we're not doing this. I think we're not doing this. I don't think we're doing this. Yeah, all right. We'll take pup. Pup works best in decks where you're getting value out of the O1 through sacrifice effects, or getting value out of the 2 creatures through whatever values having multiple creatures. In this case, we have Might of the Masses, but there's also the Overcome, which is not great, but if you are playing an Overcome deck, then Pup gets better there. Yeah, and if you chump, you can get it back with Soul Salvage and make another relevant 2/2. So, okay, we'll do it and see where we end up here. Is this an Unholy Indenture deck? I mean, we are doing some sacrificing. I'll take it, but I don't think we're running it. I'll take it over Vault Progress. Bladebrand came back. Another Indenture to consider, but I'll throw this one in the board. I don't think we're playing the first one, much less the second. Yeah, there are cute tricks with Indenture, but they tend to be fancy play syndrome that set you up for a lower win percentage than you'd like. I think we already have 4x of the rares we took. We took a Leyline and the one we have in our deck. Where would that... Yeah, the Dread Presence. So I think we're good on just finishing this draft. Good point. Skelly didn't wheel. Seemed like we had cut black enough that it was, but I was wrong. Oh, I guess we were... no, we had 2, right? Yeah, so that is our max gems there. Yeah, Puppy Sacrifice is one of the harder things that this game asks you to do in this format, but we are strong. I don't think we got enough going on with the Heart Piercer bow to bother running this. I wanted to see, like, either multiple bows or cutthroats, and we didn't really see any of that. We are at 1710 with 4 cuts to make. Let's cut a Raptor. Got a couple of spiders. We didn't get any big spiders. Let's cut the Indenture. They're saying is a little too fancy play syndrome for me. Barony Vampire can go. Don't love the Servant plan at 3, but we may have to run with it here. Oh yeah, let me get into the right scene. Yeah, we didn't get the Reclamation either, but I think we made the right pick in Murder in that spot. We do have 2 brands and 2 mites. That's fair. Not sure we want to cut any more creatures. If we're doing the Servant thing, I guess we're doing the Servant thing because we don't have much else to do. We either, we're bringing in some subpar stuff. Yeah, we have enough sack. But, we have a lot of sack outlets and only kind of 3. Like, this is the one we really want, because then it can make use of everything again and again and again. But Blood for Bones and Bone Splinters, it's only 2 spells here that we're leaning on heavy for. Oh yeah, we have skeletons and all these things, servants, and we'll sacrifice everything. Well, we don't, only if we get the altar do we get to just start going nuts on the sacrifice. Yeah, we'll get the land done, but I think I can't quite cut a Brontodon. They're too versatile. I'd rather cut a Blade Brand. And I'm happy to have the murder, actually. I do really want... Yeah, I'm not in on the Unholy Indentures. Right, but we have, again, Unholy Indenture is yet another thing that supports sacrificing, and I just don't want to do any more of that. My theory on Might of the Masses over Blade Brand is that what I want to do is try and attack on turn 4 with an Audacious Thief that is protected by a Might of the Masses that's at least +2, because we play a creature and then Might. And then the Thief actually lives through combat to attack again, instead of just trading with something and taking it down with Blade Brand. That's what I'm thinking. But we'll take a look, Haj. If Might is underperforming and we really would wish we just had Blade Brands in those spots, we can think about it. Yeah, Skeleton works with Blade nicely, but it works with Might of the Masses too. Like, I mean, the point of a Blade Brand is to trade with something, and of course with Blade Brand it's more of a 2-for-1 since you draw a card. But we could try and keep in both and cut, you know, there was a suggestion to cut a Brontodon, but I don't think we want to do that. I don't think I want to cut any more creatures from this. I think I'm going to start here, but you may be right on Blade Brand. It's really close for me on these two, but I don't think we can cut anything else. I don't want to cut a Brontodon. So let's try this, and I do want to be heavier on Swamps for the Dread Presence, but not 10 heavy because of Brontodon. So we're a little bit pulled in our mana, but brand awareness. Yeah, Leafkins help, because normally we want to be 9 on the Forest for the Brontodon, but we basically are at 9 Forests for Brontodon on Leafkin. All right, sorry, my info was not correct during the draft. Let's get it fixed up now. Our love, thank you for the resub. That's awesome. That's correct. Okay, we just needed to change the record. That's good. All right, what do you think about this deck? I think it's pretty good. It's not amazing, but it's got tools. It's got tools. I want to win 4 times with this. Man Leggings, the Rat Burglary emote was the first emote on the stream that my son made for me, and everybody loved it. It was a big hit and just kind of became a thing that people anticipated, got used to, and then we thought it would be funny. Since the set was rotating out, we used it for Burglar Rat, but since Burglar Rat is not the main format anymore, we decided to keep it going. Yeah, he's pretty smart. I think this is, so far, well, so I've also had some amazing viewers help me out with memes, but my son is really, you know, he's like 3 for 3. I got to tip my hat to my son. Now, I've given him art direction. Hey, Mike, thank you so much. Mike's raiding. I can't see how party he's raiding with. Anyway, we are just about, since we just got a follow here, a raid. Thanks, Mike. That was nice of you. I'll jump back in and we'll take a look at this deck. We just got finished building our deck. We were talking about how well we think this deck is going to do. We're green-black. We've got Altar, Blood for Bones, and Bone Splinters as our sacrifice effects. We have kind of a weak 3 Undead Servants, but we don't really have you know, if you look at our build, there's not much else to go. Our last cut was one of the Blade Brands. We were debating between Might of the Masses and Blade Brands. I liked the Mites for trying to keep our Thieves alive instead of just trading them off, but Blade Brand is better with our Skellies, so we're thinking about it. And Blade Brand is also very good with Dread Presence. If you Death Touch up the Dread Presence and then play a Swamp, that kills anything. So that's what we're leaning into here, and we're just about to jump in. Thanks for hanging out while we do this. Thanks, Mike. And we're gonna get back to this view. But I was before we jump in, I was showing off my son's memes. We use a lot of memes on this channel, and the first one he made was for Burglar Rat, which is this one.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Then what may be his masterpiece was for no, he's made 4, right? And then there was this was, I think, his masterpiece for Light Up the Stage or the Vandal. We play this.
To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal, light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance!
And then for War of the Spark, he made me this weird meme.
Weird science.
And then finally for this for M20, he made me this Meteor Golem meme. So that's my genius kid and his work. But there's other great ones that viewers have made, but I'm going to get us to play now. Yeah. Well, let's play, and maybe we'll actually see a Sailor in play, Haj. Well, Sailor's great too, and I'll play it. I wanted to get to play, and I showed all of my sons, but I will show off the work of my viewers as well here. Everybody chill, come sail away, and Thunder Drake were contributions from my viewers. All right, well, we're going to find out if Might of the Masses and Thief is what we want here. This is exactly what I was hoping for, and we're going first. So we do have Dread present, so I'm going to hold off on playing Swamps as long as I can. We'll play a Swamp, of course, to get the Thief down, but we want to play Forests if we can. So now next turn we'll be able to play pre-combat Thief number 2 and have a +2/+2 Might of the Masses for our Thief attack, potentially into a Fencing Ace blocking. No, they're going to put something else up on D. That's a pretty good one. That's pretty darn good. In fact, we're probably going to have to... Ooh, never mind. New plan. New plan, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and kill the Lich so our Thief gets through no problem, and then we can repeat the intended plan for this turn next turn. Now, we give up Murder here. This is like our only... Well, we have some other... We have Bone Splinters, and it's tough to give up your only premium removal spell in the deck, but for this, we're going to do it. It's worth it. We go from having to kind of 2-for-2 ourselves on the Thief to being able to get in for a free card. Yeah, and the Lich is a big pain in the butt, so kind of don't want to draw any more Swamps till we have our Dread presence now, but we'll see. Next turn we can consider an Undead Servant instead of a Thief and still support the Might of the Masses play. Ah. Well, it's a race. We're going to take this one and look to block that with something. Maybe we can pump and block such that we actually trade. I think that'll be our goal. And we can, I think we can do that with a Servant. You just have to pass quickly. There's really no other way to avoid that. Let's see. I think we can do everything we want and play a forest. That's good. And we can't play like 2 creatures to have the might be better, and we do want the servant to die. Let's see. So they're attacking with 3. We need to get up to 4 toughness, which we can do on the servant. So yeah, we can play servant here and have it die. Or try and... Yeah, it will try and trade with the fencing ace. Yeah, you can play full control all the time. That's the other way to do it, is disguise it when you don't have... That's, I think, the better bluff is to throw a control bluff when you don't have something. No, I would not have played the Dread Presence if I'd drawn it. There was no way we were playing anything but the Servant that turn, so I didn't mind doing it before attacking, because our course was clear. Ugh. All right. That's pretty good. We're not dead, but that really throws off our plan for this turn. We're still not dead, though, and we're going to execute... We're trying to execute the plan next turn. All right, now we get Leafkin, Spider, and Might at the ready. Let's see, now... yeah, we're still needing to play a bunch of things out. I think I will attack with the Thief and go to 2 here, although it creates lethal attackers here. Maybe we shouldn't, since this is tapped down. Yeah, never mind. We need too many blockers. I'm going to go with Thief, Druid, and Spidey, and then have Might up. Also, yeah, with this Corpse Knight, we can't really afford to attack anymore with Thieves. We kind of need to find a way to kill this Corpse Knight, or we're just dead to that. All right. Let's see, can we get, with +4/+4, we can actually have the Spider survive the Fencing Ace, so, yeah, it doesn't look great, but if we rip a removal spell for the Corpse Knight, we can survive this.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
We're gonna put... We could... No, if here by putting the Spider on the Ace, we get to make this have 7 toughness, which allows it to actually eat the Fencing Ace, which I want to do. And I'm gonna go ahead and just try and trade against the Lynx. Yeah, we could put Druid on Lynx, but I like trying to trade it. Oh shoot, punted. Sorry everybody. Now I'm dead. That was just a punt. I guess I'll save the Thief, though. Chalking and playing is hard. Hey, let's see. Can we... Does this get us anywhere? Well, if they don't have another creature, we're still not dead. So let's try and make this happen. Despite that punt. 4, 5, 6. So we can actually... we can... Blood for Bones and play the creature. Is it worth attacking? No, we don't even get anything by attacking. Are we just dead? Well, let's find out. I'm gonna do this. No, we won't do that. We'll just no attacks. Yeah, this doesn't even do anything for us. I don't know why it said 3. Maybe it was counting from yesterday. Maybe it's within 24 hours, and I punted late yesterday. I don't know when the day restarts. Maybe Dionysus has hacked the system. All right, so let's just die. Darn it! I think they're going to play a creature, and it's not going to have mattered. But now it looks like maybe not. All right, so if we block with everything, we do trade. All right, it's trying hard to give us a chance. For some reason, they can't find a creature, and that's working out for us here. Let's see. Do we bother? Yeah, we got a Blood for Bones, or they can attack for the win. Let's see. Except we don't have enough mana to cast something, right? Because we Blood for Bones for like a Leafkin Druid, but then we get a creature back, but we can't. Oh, if we actually, let's see. Nah, yeah, we're like one short. Yeah, we're just dead now. We're like 1 mana away from being able to put up a. Yeah, we can tap Druid for mana, but we have to sacrifice something. So then, like, we do that. We sacrifice this, and then we put one of the we put Druid in. We put this on the battlefield. And this in hand, and we still can't cast it is the problem. Like, we need to be able to cast there. All right. Looks like we weren't going to find a way to win before the night got us anyway, but I hate punting. Punting is bad. Although I feel that, you know, I don't feel as bad about what I think are stream punts, where, like, I don't think I make that mistake when I'm not streaming, so I gotta go easy on myself. Streaming and playing is hard. But we're now in the loser's bracket. But yesterday we started off 0-1 and then finished with 7 wins, so let's try and repeat that. This is all right. We'll keep this. I mean, let's see. We don't have any double 2s. I'm going to play a Swamp because we know for sure we're going to Blood Burgle on 2. But we'll start playing Forest from here. Looking like blue-white skies is what I would expect. No. Boros aggro, perhaps. Yeah, let's play this Forest, and I'm going to go ahead and, like, we could stay back on D and actually kind of get him with the Might of Masses, but I'm going to wait on that. We'll just go ahead and attack with Lifelink here, and if they want to trade, we have the Might of Masses to punish that. Or if they try to trade, we have Might of Masses to punish with Lifelink, and if not, it's not too bad for our race situation to just accept 8, you know, this 4-point life swing. There is a loser's bracket, Heimer. It's not perfect, but the first priority of matchmaking on Arena is record, so they are trying to match us with somebody with as close a record to us as they can. All right, well, we're going to go with Netcaster Spider, leaving Might up, and send in the Burgula. Maybe they'll think we're screwing up here. I'm going to attack really quickly to both disguise the Might of the Masses and to encourage them to block and pump. Interesting. Well, let's go ahead and trade 2 for 2. 2 for 2, lifelink for lifelink. This is a funny trade. But yeah, the other option is just to let the Blood Burglar go, but now we'll do it. Let's do it. It doesn't have first strike. It's activated first strike, and they cannot activate it because or is it on moment? Yeah, it's lifelink. It's fine. You had me worried there for a second. It's just a trade. A little 2 for 2. Couple of our sack outlets. Nothing I am eager to sack here, although you can do it with an Undead Servant. It's not very impressive if you don't do it with another one coming, though. Although, you know, we could still do that here. Undead Servant, Bone Splinters, and attack. But I think we just kind of play the Servant and chill here. Yeah, I'm not going to not drop lands, Buckeye. I know we have a dread presence, but I'm not going to not play my 5th land out. I mean, I suppose, like, if we draw literally dread presence, I might regret that. But I can't not develop my mana at 4. If somebody else thinks that's a mistake, I'm curious, but I feel like you should still be developing your mana. It's not that we have a lot of 5 drops. It's that we have the desire to do 2 things on 6 or whatever. The desire to Blood for Bones and cast the thing that get back to your hand, you know? All right. No blocks here. But now we may go with a Bone Splinters plan. And here's, yeah, this is an example of it. So, like, we can Blood for Bones here, and if we want, put back Servant and cast the Blood Burglar. I'm not sure we even want to do that, but maybe so. Let's see. If we do... Yeah, I will. And the reason why is because if we get a 3-2 and a 2-2 and a 2-3, we currently blank. We have good blocks against everything they're showing in that case. So I am going to do it. Although, let's attack first, of course. Come on, Ryan. Where's your head? Play tight. I want Spider back on defense, but we're going to get our 3 in. I'm keeping the Spider back for the Pegasus, but definitely attacking with the Servant. Because it's like a Vigilant Servant. Returning Servant to battlefield, Blood Burglar to hand, recasting Blood Burglar, and now having enough to threaten the Pack Mastiff. They can pump and make it a 2 for 2. Which I'm okay with. It kills our Servant and uses up their whole turn. They don't have mana for charge right now, so I'm comfortable just throwing all those blocks on. Trying to think of anything that really punishes me here for these blocks. Like, maybe they have the trick. Maybe they can pump with the red and trick with the white. But Moment of Heroism, like, I think we just have to accept that. At least it can only get 1 in that case, right? That's my thinking. So I'm going to do it. If they have Moment of Heroism, they have to choose, and we have 1 good block at least. Fury. All right, well, on the one hand, that feels like it didn't work, but on the other hand, we drew an Undead Servant. We did get our win on the Spider block, and we now have Undead Servant with Splinters, so it's not all bad here. We're going to attack and get Splinters the Mastiff away. But we are, again, representing a 1 for 2 here. If we double block Servant and Zombie, they would have to pump And if they pump and use up their whole turn, we trade the Servant and the Zombie for the Mastiff and still have the Splinters. I'm worried that they're mana screwed right now, and if they find land, they're going to unlock these 4 spells. So consider that we are, while we're ahead on board, we're behind in hand. We're down 4-1 in hand. I think I'm going to end turn. We're actually ahead on life. Maybe I should try and press our board advantage and make them either find land or win a race on 3 mana, which is not easy. Yeah, this could be okay. And I'm definitely going to hold this swamp. Now we're holding swamps for Dread Presence. Being behind in hand is just an observation that if Oppo breaks out of their mana screw, they are probably going to catch up on board. So the question is, are we racing them to try and beat them before they find their land and start to catch up on board? Or are we trying to play a board control game and like sacrifice stuff to Bone Splinters to kill a Pack Mastiff? And I'm just going to say, I'm going to keep racing while we're winning the race, you know? And wait, and if this turns it around for them, yeah, right? Like now it's different. But this makes me happy that we saved all this stuff. So we have Bone Splinters. We kill the zombie to kill the Mastiff, attack a Johnny, and they choose between blocking with a Pride Mate or letting a Johnny go to 1. And then we have picked up a Soul Salvage, and with Soul Salvage we can get Blood Burglar and a Servant, leaving 1 Servant in the yard so that the other Servant does something. But for sure we need to go after a Johnny, so I'm just going to start there and see where we end up mana-wise.
For reinforcements.
And let's see, now if we salvage those 2, we can Blood Burgle without playing the land. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to salvage now. Smoke them when you've got them. I should have gotten back Vampire and sacked it instead. Yeah, maybe so. That's a good point. I could have done my Soul Salvage shenanigans first and had 2 attackers at a Johnny. That may have been a more optimal line. Good call, Blackmore. Tricky from Oppo, but if they don't actually sack the Blood Burglar, we can at least get a Johnny here. We gotta give up a creature. It's kind of a 1-for-1 for a Johnny, which I'm willing to do. I assume they'll take out the Spider, but maybe they don't like the lifelink more. So now we decide whether we're holding swamps for Dread Presence or casting out our hand. And I think we go ahead and cast out our hand. Got a 2-spell while you can. Unfortunately, we don't have 5 toughness, so if we attempt to block here, it's going to be a 2-for-1. But we have a lot of spare critters with the tokens we made and whatnot, so if they attack with a Johnny, we would go ahead and try and block that. I'm going to hide this forest in hand, even though it's swamps that we really want to hold. We only have 8 swamps in the deck left, so only 4 triggers for that presence even left in the deck. But yeah, altar is what we want here. And also that's a good reason to keep forests. Pitch them to altar. Oh, yeah, sorry, you're right. We were 9-8 Swamps Forest. We have 5. I was thinking we were Bront heavy, but yeah, we have 9. You're right. I kind of smell a trick too, but why wouldn't they attack with the Pride Mate if they had a trick? Well, I'm gonna call. I'm gonna throw our token. Well, maybe yeah. I'm gonna throw our tokens in front. And I could throw an Undead Servant in front. And generally, we like them dead, but 3 power as a blocker is reasonable. And yeah, if we're trading 2 for 1 for a moment, maybe we're not supposed to. Maybe we just take it. Yeah, that's a good point. We can just throw a single servant and go either put a servant in the graveyard or trade 1 for 1 for a moment. I like that better. You're right. Let's do that. This way, the risk of ruin is pretty low. Yeah, we're trading a servant for a Fury, which is a lot better than 2 for 1. Bronte comes down and provides that big butt we're looking for. Now we do have a double block that creates a 1 for 1. Definitely holding that swamp and that forest. If we get the altar, we'll be happy to have both of those. And right now, we're just kind of holding out for altar. Altar is our best win condition here. Dread Presence would not be the worst draw either. Now I'm gonna play... Yeah, I'll even still hold it. Like, we just don't have much of a high end. We're really, we really are just trying to... I mean, maybe we want to start cycling skeletons or something. I think I'm going to hold, continue to hold. But I think if we draw another land, then I start playing land. Our big worry now is that they find a pump team finisher. I think we're looking at a Reckless Charge type deck that we could easily lose to. Like, if they suddenly attack all out, we're probably just dead, because it means they have a go wide trick. Skelly we can play, at least it gets in the way of some stuff. Great sack target for altar. We're totally set up for altar now, with cards to pitch and cards to sacrifice, and oh no, here's the go wide that I think we can assume is coming. So let's assume it's Reckless Charge and try not to lose to that. We want to put 2 power onto 1 toughness in the Reckless Charge situation so that those things actually die. We can put the skeleton on the 1/1, and then we just got to make sure we don't die to the big stuff, so we'll chump the biggest thing, and Bronte on Inquisitor makes that a trade as well. So this trades a bunch of stuff so that even if they have... I think this is a good block against Charge. If they have other stuff to augment, it might not be the greatest, but trades in a charge, trades in a charge, trades in a charge, gets eaten but comes back, trades in a charge. That's pretty good. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, yeah, that's true. I guess we're assuming the charge. We can do this. That's fair. Just let this through. Yeah, if they first strike Inquisitor, they don't have enough left. Altar, come on. Ugh, so rough. Yeah, we could have put Bront on a 1/1 so it didn't die, but it did trade, you know? It did trade. But yeah, maybe we should have kept it, because then it could block the captain. Yeah, we're getting quite the flood, but we also made a couple mistakes, and Oppo has done their thing, so I feel like if we played a little tighter, we might be in better shape here. We could take out the Scorcher and just accept 7 here. but maybe that goes too low. I think we'll assume... We gotta assume we're gonna find something. Yeah, we dealt with an Ajani, but that was one of my mistakes. I think we could have dealt with the Ajani better than we did. This isn't bad. This really buys us a lot of time. If I had... Per the suggestion from someone in chat, I followed up my attack of Ajani with a soul salvage play that put a blood burglar onto the battlefield. If I had done that first, soul salvaged and put the blood burglar down, I could have bone splintered, sacrificing the summoning sick blood burglar, and have taken out Ajani instead of having had to follow up to kill Ajani the next turn. And I think that's maybe the difference here. Maybe not. I mean, this is a pretty powerful play that I don't think we can beat. I think we're just, we're not stone dead, but we're effectively dead. I'm not even going to do the mostly dead meme because I think we are... Like, even Miracle Max wasn't going to save us, but how charming, deck. How charming. All right. We have gone 0-2-7-2 before. Can we pull it off today? I don't know. We're going to try. Sorry, we were too dead to play it, J-Watt. We were too dead. That was not a mostly dead situation. We were just straight up dead. There was no... If we had any top deck, if I could come up with a plan where we don't die, then I would have played it. But the whole point of that meme is to then follow it up with the miracle comeback, but there was no miracle comeback there. All right, come on. I put this deck at par 4. We can't even find one win. This is nonsense. I know I'm playing Undead Servants, and that's not the best sign in the world, but this deck is decent. All right, we have a good start here. Putting a Servant out on 3. I know, I would like to see the altar. I would like to see the Dread Presence. We're 2 games in, we have seen neither card, even in our hand. Not even in our hand have we seen either of those cards. Yeah, watch the Reef just wreck us. Sure, that's fair. We're in the 0-2 bracket facing the Risen Reef on turn 3, because that's how we roll. Let's see. They both have 3 power. This one costs more mana, so let's be mana efficient here. Well, Fazdar, you're gonna love this game, I think. Bronte and Skelly, I guess. It's really doesn't feel super fair, but nobody ever said Magic was super fair. Are we in the 0-2 or 2-0 bracket? Because Oppo's showing us a 2-0 deck, not an 0-2 deck. All right, all right. Finally, we can do something around here. No, I don't want to offer that. We don't have good attacks. Only one shot. We got one shot off on there, but it was a good one. Got rid of their reef. Really sad part is that we have lost this to exile, so our soul salvage does not get that friend back. I mean, they may have a trick, but we gotta trade for it then, right? Like, what do? You gotta try and trade your spider for a flyer. That's what it's trying to do. Have we pulled ahead here? We could just splinters the links, but that seems excessive. I think we just try and trade a servant for the links. Nah, I don't think we splinter and get in for 6. I think we try and trade here and save the splinters for a future creature. Especially since we're pretty cool with dead servants. I'm going to play the swamp now that we have no chance of Dread Presence making a comeback. We only have 3 servants, unfortunately, but maybe we'll draw one. Lands can be held for altar now, but I think playing that one out was fine. We have some stuff we want to do. Like, we'll hold this mana, we'll hold this one, but I think now this is a place where we got a Bone Splinters. I think they might end up showing us even better creatures in the Fire Elemental, but what's our plan? If not to Bone Splinters this, to wait around till we can... I mean, I guess the plan could be we double block it and trade Bronte for Fire Elemental and keep the Splinters. But at this point, I like going ahead and using it. Right on, Jellifa. Glad you figured that out. And yes, as chat has said, that I co-founded Limited Resources with Marshall back in 2009. Yeah, that's true. I played it dangerous there with Skelly, but I think I glanced and saw that I was going to have the swamp. Yeah, the druid gave him a good talking to. That's cool. Lynx. Yikes.
All right, everyone, chill.
Awesome, Cato, the cat. I'll call you Cat. Oh ho! You think you've tapped down my Brontodon? Well, well. Yeah, I'm so glad that reef is dead. We didn't get to do much more with our Dread Presence, but it did some work. Alright, well, we're staring at stuff till we find our altar. Come on, altar, show up. It's about time for the altar to make an appearance. I maybe had a bluff attack with a skeleton. What I liked was the skeleton plus Bronto threatening to 1-for-1 the links, though. We are not frightened of 7/7s. I'm going to start playing a little more land, though, on the assumption that skeleton is going to have to do some cycling. What we really don't want to see is the trample, the trample elemental. We will not be bluff attacking with the skeleton anytime soon now. Okay. If you don't play the trampler, I don't care. Thicket Crasher, yep. Yeah, we never really got one of those sorcerers, did we? Not that we could take. How much land is too much when you've got... Yeah, again, given that we're basically spending 4 a turn on 9/9 defense, I'm going to play out a couple more lands. Oh, don't you exile counter it. Is there an exile counter? No, it doesn't. But that was an interesting pause, huh? I mean, there's nothing on board that would make that pause, so it feels like that was a Bone to Ash pause, and Oppo was deciding that Bone to Ash on Skeleton might not have been worth it. Maybe it's Convolute that we could pay for. I don't know. They got something. Yeah, they could have a shock and nothing to do with it. We'll see you, Jason. Have fun at F&M. Crush them. Well, well, well. Now they're coming with the links and putting us to a bit of a test, suggestive of a pump spell or something. And if they pump, we are at risk of a 2-for-1, but not even with the +3/+3 doesn't 2-for-1 us. So I'm going to call their bluff, and we might be trading a Brontodon for a pump. But if so, we can, well, just accept that, I guess. I don't really like, I don't love this block, but yeah, we could also, if we sacrifice a Brontodon, we could start chumping this with a Leafkin Druid, but we'll see here. Let's see what they do first. If they do something that blows us out, then we sacrifice a Brontodon to the link to kill this and then have this on the links. Tron is a term that refers to the original Urza's lands, where if you had Urza's Mine, Urza's Tower, and Urza's... what's the other one? Power Plant? Whatever they are, the 3, then they do something better, right? They all produce more mana. So the idea was that those Urza's lands were Voltron, because you combine them together to be more powerful, and the slang for that became Urzatron, and then now Tron has become a slang, magic slang for things that, for basically those lands. But people use it in some different contexts as well. Like, I will joke that, it was Bone to Ash. Netcaster's fine to get countered. I will joke that if Oppo goes like Island, Forest, Swamp, or sorry, Island, Forest, Mountain, I would say they had Teamertron, for example. Yeah, I should start attacking with Thrasher. You're right. We got to try and win this. That was a missed 3 damage, I think. We got to assume that they're not going to trample the Vorse Claw. I'm just kind of being defensive here and figuring we're going to win on the back of finally finding the altar, but we can totally be getting some damage in the meantime. Yeah, we're going to go Skelly and Thief, and yeah, let's go ahead and attack with Bront. Make him have something. Playing around Convolute. I think we're pretty well played around Convolute. That's an unfortunate bone to Ash. They're getting some 2-for-1s off us now that kind of suck. But, again, we just get our altar. I think we close this out pretty quickly, but our build around just has not shown up for us at all. And now we're back on D, and probably in a spot where we're going to have to chump the Vorse Claw with the Leafkin Druid for a turn to try and trade Brontodon and Skeleton for the Brawler, unless we find a way out of it here. That was a second bone to Ash, which is maybe a lot, but it's working for him. What up, Oppo? Maybe we'll get a Might of the Masses. We can attack with the Brontodon. We'll probably just stay back on D and eat on defense. More land is another thing we could do. $19.14. No, I think they're pretty light on the red. I guess they're only 1 off from their green, but they seem green, blue, splash red to me. Although, what's with this? I don't know. How are we trading for Brawler? Yeah, I think you see now. Really unfortunate flooding. Maybe we're on pace, though. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 out of 17 halfway through. I mean, we're a little over average. We're, you know, half our deck left, and we've seen 11 of our 17 lands, so not as good as we'd like, but we could do worse. Well, now we're going to have to do the unfortunate chump, but without taking out the Brawler, which is too bad. Or we just take it this turn. Maybe we just take it this turn. We got a lot of life. I'll just block our own skeleton. Because it keeps blocking the Vorse Claw, and they want us to put something else in front of it. But yeah, we could just take it all, not even risk the Brontodon to some pump spell or something. 9, 10, 14, and we go to 7. Well, it doesn't matter if we kill it. If we kill it, we just bring it back the other way. Yeah, I guess we block with the Druid, and if they want to kill the Druid, that's fine. Let's do that. No need to kill it, you're right. When we have an 0-3. Why not chump the Vorst? Because I want those creatures for future blocking purposes. We have much better options when we have a skeleton blocking on our side. If we just take 1 hit from it, we get to reassume our defense. Okay. All right, now we can do both. But let's see, do we play land now? I guess we still have return both, so we don't even need to play land. But I'm going to stay back and try and trade with the Brawler. Come on, deck. Give us the stinking altar. I don't know what they were up to with that flame sweep. Did they draw a card mid-turn or something? I don't know. It's close to us being able to attack here, but... yeah, actually, I think we can... no, I'm going to say no. Because then they could attack with both, and we just take too much from the spitter. Well, that's bad news, Bears. Here's Loaming Shaman doing its 10% all-star status. We're fine if we just find our altar. Yeah, we're totally going to draw Might and wish it were a Blade, but... yeah, I don't know why you send the Spitter. Alright, we can't have even that many lands left at this point. You know... 9, 10, 11, 12... they're even... oh, sure, sure. It's going to make the victory all the sweeter. If we get an altar... okay, that makes more trouble. Gosh, they should totally attack with the spitter. I can't afford to not block... yeah, the fact that they didn't attack with the spitter here is a gift. Like, we should be at 3. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what and why they left anything in their yard. I don't understand Oppo, and it's really frustrating that we're likely to lose this. Despite all the chances Oppo is giving us, we're failing to find a way. All right, that's not the worst. They seem unwilling to attack with the spitter. Maybe they'll continue that trend with this thief in play. And now at least we have Thief on Shaman and Skeleton on Vorstclaw. Yeah, keep that spitter back. Way to go. Come on now. Enough of the lands. Oh, come on. It's kind of funny now, really. I just have to not tilt. We didn't do this. This is happening to us. This is the game we play, everybody. Let's see if they figure it out. Have you figured out to attack with your spitter yet? Oh, they figured it out. We should have been dead 2 turns ago, but now they're gonna figure it out. Well, I certainly did not help program this game. I helped design this game, but program? No, no. Nobody lets me near code. That is perfect. That's just perfect. Punish us with the, like, if we had had our Blade Brand, we have a chance here. This is unreal. That we're going to 0-3 with this. We're 0-3ing with this deck, folks. 0-3. Does that ever happen to Mike Sigrist? Any of you guys, any of you coming over from Sigrist stream, does he go 0-3 ever? Oh, man. So let's see. If we find removal for the Scorched Spitter, hilariously, we're not dead. Should we draw the altar now? Oh, they're not going to give us a chance. Well, Paisy-Landa. Good game. That was a very unlucky game, but it happens. It was a very unlucky match, but that happens too. At least it was for our gold buy-in. We were just trying to grind a little gems there off of our gold, but a little bit sad. That was ridiculous to lose with that deck. We had a fine draft. Fine draft, terrible results, happens some days, I suppose. What are we going to do next? Well, say goodbye to YouTube. Thanks for hanging out for that one. If you got to this point, you feeling a little bummed with us, but all right, so it goes. See ya. Hope you stick around for the next one.